Hello and welcome to my Dragonsong's Reprise Ultimate Guide for the Eyes phase. So, you killed Nidhogg, good job, it's time to kill more stuff. So, to start the phase off, as soon as Nidhogg dies, you'll want everyone to group up south where Alphino is standing. 2 players will get marked and tethered to Harshafant and Asael, who will appear in the center by Asinian. These players will have AoEs go off on them in a few seconds that will give everyone they hit 2 buffs, Soul of Friendship and Soul of Devotion. Stay stacked up until these go off so that everyone gets these buffs. 2 eyes will spawn. The eye named right eye will be west and the eye named left eye will be east. Yes, this is awful. It's a lot easier to think of them as the blue eye is west and the red eye is east. A gauge labeled Nidhogg's influence will also appear on your screen. You must kill the eyes before the gauge gets to 100 or Nidhogg takes over Asinian and will wipe the party. Once the eyes become targetable, they will both be doing autos on the tanks, so make sure to keep an eye on the tank's health. Shortly after the eyes become targetable, a raid wide will go off that inflicts damage and a bleed for 6 seconds. Make sure everyone is topped off and heal and mint is necessary. As the bleed is falling off, both eyes will cast Hatebound. This gives each player a chain or color debuff. 4 players will get red and 4 players will get blue. If a player has the red debuff and takes damage, it will damage the red eye. If a player has the blue debuff and takes damage, it will heal the blue eye. This will control how we handle the phase's mechanics. This phase has 2 parts, Orb Pops and single target Mirage Dives. So, there will be 2 large yellow orbs that need 2 players per orb to soak them, and 4 smaller blue orbs that only need 1 player per orb. To resolve this, we have light parties on each eye, and DPS start with red. As soon as the red and blue debuffs go out, look at what you have. Tanks and healers should have blue, and DPS should have red. If you do not have the color you need, go to the middle of the arena to swap. Everyone who needs to swap stacking up here is perfectly fine because you cannot pass or swap with a player who has the same color or debuff as you, and after swapping, you get a debuff that prevents you from swapping again for about 3 seconds. It's exactly like the roll call debuffs in P4S. While people are swapping their colors to get what they need, the yellow orbs will expand for their first time. Once everyone has the colors they need, DPS move in front of their yellow orbs with their other DPS partner and prepare to pop it. Let it expand a second time, and pop it. Popping an orb gives you a fire resistance downvoll, meaning the same player cannot take a blue orb after taking a yellow one. Therefore, DPS stay where you popped your orb. Tanks and healers will move on to the DPS to swap colors. The blue orbs will expand their first time at the same time the yellow orbs expanded their second time. Once the blue orbs expand a second time, tanks pop the north orbs and healers pop the south orbs. And that's orbs taken care of. So for the second half of this phase, everyone will move over to the blue eye. Because of how we resolve the orb mechanic, all the tanks and healers should have red at this point, and all the DPS should have blue. Healers top everyone off, and players should all position into their Protean positions. We have the 2 tanks in north spots and the 2 healers in south spots to 1. Keep the positioning similar to the orb positions, and 2. Keep the red debuffs out of the center of the map so that the people with the blue debuff are able to move through the direct middle to get from one eye to the other without the risk of accidentally passing the debuffs. The melee DPS start in the direct center of the eye as they will get the first pass. No one can be any closer than max melee for this part. 4 sets of Mirage Dives will begin to go out in pairs of 2 on red debuff players. Pretty much the only thing you need to know for this strat is, did I get hit with a dive? If yes, move center. If no, stay in your Protean spot. Again, the melee DPS will be the first to swap so they can go to the exact center of the eye to wait. Remember if you are one of the players getting hit by this first set of dives because you will be passing for the last set later. Once you're hit with a dive, move to the direct middle of the eye to swap debuffs. It is very, very important that you move into the exact center of the eye to make sure the debuffs pass. As soon as you see your debuff swap, everyone move back out to your Protean spot. The ranged DPS will be the second to swap, so they'll move into the center of the eye while the next 2 red debuff players are hit. The players that were hit by the second dives will move in to swap their debuffs, and again, as soon as you see your debuff is swapped, everyone moves back out to their Protean positions. Whoever got hit by the first set of dives will be doing the third and final swap. The third set of dives will go out here on 2 red debuff players. Players hit by the third dives will move into the center of the eye to swap their debuffs, and once the debuffs have swapped, everyone will move back out to their Protean positions. And then for the fourth and final dive set, 2 red debuff players will get hit again, and there is no more swapping or passing needed, so just make sure to stay spread out for this final set. The dives will go out, and then you can move around as much as you would like. And at this point, the left and right eye should both be fairly low. Both eyes will begin to cast Steep in Rage. You want to finish off the blue eye first, which is the west eye, before it finishes this cast, and then the red eye, the eye over on east. If you don't kill the red eye before it casts the Raid Wide, it will kill itself because it damaged the red tethered players, but it will also heal the blue eye because it hit the blue tethered players. The heal is really small though, so just finish off the blue eye when it spawns back with a couple GCDs. So you can see here, the melees are starting in the center. First dives go off, the tanks and healers that got hit move in, we swap, we all move out. Second dives go out, move in, ranged move in, swap, move out. Third dives go off. The people who took the first hits move in along with the people that just got hit to swap. Last dives go out, no more swapping is needed.